Hi. We've been looking at the left and right aspects of the brain, and now we want to look at the top-down elements of the brain. So we're now addressing the top-down aspects of the brain, as I explained a few seconds ago. So you'll see two major overlapping circles. And the top circle indicates the cortex, or the thinking brain, which lies more or less here, if you like. And the bottom circle is the hindbrain, or the body brain. And where they overlap is the limbic or feeling brain. And the issue here is that in the middle is the feeling brain, and it is dealing with both the issues of the thinking and the body brain. But the point I want to emphasize is how important this limbic system or feeling brain is, because we as human beings are feeling beings, as distinct to bots and robots and the rest of it. And this in so many ways distinguishes the way we cope with life. Now we want to look at how Freud's theories match up with what I've just explained. So previously we had the cortex, or the thinking system, and it's Freud's approach that is the superego. The body brain at the bottom is the id in Freud's terms, and in the middle, where there is the area of overlap, we have the ego. So how does this work? The superego is the bit that is our socialized self, our moral self that constrains our behaviors. Whereas at the bottom, we got the id, who's acting against that. And the id is saying, me, 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 now, now, now. And it's violent if it doesn't get what it wants, and it's thoroughly sexualized. So these are the forces that are at work combating bottom up against what's coming from on top in terms of constraining this behavior. And in the middle is the war zone. The ego is trying to balance this out and make decisions the whole time as to whether it's going to behave itself or whether it's going to say, I want to do it my way and don't you dare stop me. So do you get the parallels here? That's the point that I'm trying to make. That the way the brain is designed actually fits really quite nicely with this aspect of Freud's perception of ourselves. So how does this all come together? Well, we've already looked at the left and the right brain. And the left brain here is illustrated by a chessboard, black and white, tends to put things in boxes, very organized. Whereas the right brain is creative, it's artistic, it's colorful, and there is this spectrum between the two that I've already described. And in the middle is the limbic system. And the limbic system is full of emotions. Above it lies the forebrain, and beneath it, the body brain. And we can also describe the forebrain as being the thinking brain, and the limbic system as being the feeling brain, articulated by a heart here, and the hindbrain as the body brain. All of these are interacting powerfully with one another. The function of the forebrain is to actually draw all these elements together and to balance them and to produce effective executive decisions in the light of having weighed up all this information. This is so clever, and we largely do all this unconsciously, except that we become aware of forces within ourselves struggling with one another. And in the middle is this crucible, the red hot limbic area, which is described as an A here, which means amygdala. There are actually two of them. They are amygdalae. But the point that I'm making is that all of our humanity is centered in our emotions. And the extent to which we understand that helps us to make sense of ourselves and a lot of what kicks off in life, which is so often emotionally driven, even though we like to think that we're really rational human beings. If only. It's a real struggle getting all these things in balance. So I've just been speaking about the limbic system with the amygdala in the middle. What I'm going to illustrate now is essentially how central this is. Imagine that we have two antennae coming out of our amygdala, okay? And on the one side, we have the whole sense of a pupil that is constricted, and on the other side, a pupil that is expanded and red. So why is this? It's because we have these sympathetic and parasympathetic systems within us. Let me explain that. The parasympathetic system is the chilled system. And when we're chilled, our pupils constrict because we're chilled. We don't need to be observing everything. And so it just, if you like, is in a dormant state. By contrast with when we are stimulated by something that threatens us, something that is not seen so much as a friend but as a foe, then our pupils dilate, our whole system comes alive, ready to deal with this perceived threat. And this is where we have the fear, fight, flight, freeze response, because all the energy is there to deal with this threat. So the energy there is to run away like crazy, or to fight for one's very life, or to freeze as a way of playing dead. So do you see how this works? That we have these antennae all the time scanning. And when things look safe, whatever, we chill. But when there's a threat, all this kicks off. And again, this is centered in this limbic system in the middle of our brains. And it'd be great if we could spend our lives nice and chilled, with a bottle of vino, if you like, lying in a hammock by a swimming pool and the sun shining, but then a tiger appears out of the jungle and boom, everything kicks off because our life is threatened. Do you get this? And I think this is really helpful to think in terms of the fact that we're scanning all the time. I will be putting up more videos extending this understanding, but please visit our website because they will be appearing on the website. But also if you want to go back and review some of what has come before this, you can also pick that up on the website. And if you want to get in touch with me personally to have a more of an understanding of this, or if you're looking for an appointment to help you, then again, it's on the website. Thank you.